Over the last couple of hours, we've been gradually watching this thin overcast beginning to assemble and stream overhead. This is from the Lexington Financial Center. It's your St. Joseph Health weather bug camera. You see some lower clouds beneath, but you notice there aren't very many of those. That tells you that the air here at the surface is pretty dry. Most of the moisture is aloft, which leads to this on the radar display from the Max Track Live Doppler. We're at 617. You're seeing returns coming from the west. We've been watching one scooting here along the 150 corridor. It's virga. It's stuff that's falling out of the clouds, but it's evaporating on the way down. What's interesting, too, is from that shot from the Lexington Financial Center, there may be more sprinkles up on top of the building than actually what make it down to the ground. Just food for thought. Believe it or not, it is May. We had a couple of days that felt like it back on Derby, which was the right time to have it, but we've got frost threats to deal with, 2 of them. But not like last year when we had a big killing freeze. We had frost where it could put a little tinge on the plants, but shouldn't be the widespread killing event. So next weekend, put the annuals out. Another week of April coming up for us this week, and in the 8-day, spring warmth actually does try and make a comeback. And we'll talk about all that coming up. Clouds played a huge role in temperatures today, going back to 8:15 this morning. They had the cloud cover around, but we're all pretty uniform there in the low and mid 40s. Where the clouds held tough all day, it stayed in the 40s. Where the sun came out, 50s and 60s. So May sun does a great job trying to heat things up. But even so, this cold air mass can only go so far. You're seeing temperatures now running low 60s, Richmond and Frankfort, Mount Sterling at 61, 55 out of Hazard, 54 in Monticello. Right now in Lexington, we sit at 60. Wind has gone variable and light. Notice that dry air. The dew point's only at 38, which is why we think a lot of the stuff that's falling out of the cloud will evaporate on the way down. 61, our warm spot today, or a high. You're looking at an average low of 53. We'll get there next week. There's your frost chance on Wednesday morning. Frost possibility again Thursday morning before we start moderating. And tomorrow, it stays cool. You got a 60 in Winchester, 64 in Lawrenceburg, 62 out of Georgetown. That is unusually cool for what is now the middle of May. Low 60s as you look out to the east as well. Frenchburg at 62, Stanton and Campton along Mountain Parkway at 63. Mid 60s across the southeast, Hyman at 65, Jackson the same, Beattyville, Boonville each at 65. And in the lakes, 65 out of Whitley City, and in Stanford, 64 in London. So let's look at the majesty here of the jet stream and talk about the cold pools that are around. So here's the one coming through now. And we've been seeing these repeated shots of polar air dropping southward. What's going to happen with time? We see one more try and rotate in for the end of the week. But watch this ridge here. You see that? You see how that starts to build over us as we get you into next week? That is your warm-up that is coming. It'll get here. It's just going to take a little longer, but you will feel the effects next week. The effects tonight are of that trough dropping in, which is essentially a reinforcing shot of cold air, and it might be just enough to kick off that sprinkle. In and out clouds, a clearing sky late. We're in the low 40s tonight. Your day tomorrow, cloud-sun mix, but it's another great day if it were early April. We'll be in the low 60s tomorrow. As we continue through your 8-day, 60 on Wednesday, that frost chance Wednesday morning and then again Thursday morning. We start moderating Friday, get closer to normal over the weekend. That's when the rain chances arrive as well.